now?
Can you hear us? Emma?
Oh.
Can't hear anything.
Can
you hear me?
I can hear you. Aha, got you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, I can hear you.
Holy cow. Wow.
So if everyone does what you did.
Okay. That link has to be shared with your buddies, okay?
Each person's volume is controlled there.
Okay, so how do I turn it up?
It's up.
I'm not coming out of here. If I come out of here, I won't get back.
You're okay.
I know, but I don't know how to send the link to the other guys. They have to click on that link. So
put it in the chat with all the others in it.
I have, but they're not there. Hang on, Timmy will do that. Okay, Emma, I've talked briefly. You can go and have a few words about Amanda Mary. I'll let you go. You're live.
Ooh, okay. Where to start? I've been working to expose Amanda Mary for about 4 years now. As you know, she's a woman with no medical qualifications that's saying that she can heal autism, that she can cure autism, even though it's a neurological difference that can't be cured. She also is saying that she can cure cancer, which greatly hurts me personally. I lost my brother last year, January, to brain cancer. And I miss him very much. You know, so for people to be going through the same grieving that I am over people that she has used these products on is disgraceful. I also have had cancer myself, and I was offered loads of quack treatments. People message you and say, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And if I hadn't have known what I do know, you do feel that desperate and vulnerable that you would jump on anything. You would, because you want to be alive for your children. You know, it's terrifying thinking of leaving your children, especially when you have children that have special needs. You know, and she knows that. You know, she knows that people will do anything they can to stay alive. Anything. No matter how painful it may be. You know, she's advising people to come off all painkillers, no treatments. She's even advising them to turn down operations that could save them. And because of her now, people are dying. So I'm hoping that the Bellings, oh, what's this?
I think
Can you see that?
The
link opens the Play Store. Yeah, tell them to click it.
Tell them to
click on it.
I'm telling them to click on it. It's like
click on it and sign in again, and they should be able to come on.
Yeah, I'm telling them now.
Yeah, as I was saying, she is someone that needs to be arrested and made to serve time for her crimes. You know, she is selling a dream to parents who don't want their children to be autistic, sadly, and to people who could potentially be saved. It's not all terminally ill people that she's doing this to. Some of them, you know, are just beginning their cancer journey. Some of them begin their cancer journey and have time to be saved, but because of her delaying their treatment, they end up being so ill that they haven't got any time left.
Like the woman I spoke to today. So there's, you know, Emma and I obviously wrote this story last Sunday, and well, I wrote a blog, and this father has reached out to me, this father of a boy with brain cancer, and they've been to her clinic in Belize, and they've given $25,000 to her. She's telling people that she can cure brain cancer, which is, you know, is important to you, Emma.
Yeah. It is.
This boy right now, guys, is 16 years old, and his mother believes in quack treatments. She wants him to go back to Amanda Mary. The father doesn't want him to go back. And I spoke to the father today, and he said, what can I do about it? I mean, really, like, what kind of a person would actually say that? If you care about your child, you'd stop this, wouldn't you? You'd say, I'm not having this going back to this lunatic woman, which is what she is. And
tell the wife that you're going to get her nicked for endangering your child's life.
Well, this is what I've said to this man today. I reached out again because I've been very generous, actually. I have a call. It's recorded, okay? The call, this father explains to me that his son was really ill when he went to Amanda Mary, that they were sticking needles into him, 35 attempts apparently one day to stick needles in his body, injecting GCMAF, which is a banned unregulated blood product, could be contaminated blood, into his body and his... And then he gets.
Where is the blood coming from, Fiona?
We
Do
we
we know
don't.
that?
I think she's making it herself. Do you know, I think actually she's probably just mixing it up.
Do you think it's a David Noakes thing? Do you think she might be using her own?
I think it's her own. That's my opinion. I've seen the bottle because the father showed me the bottle. We know that her cannabis oil, I know this today, Amanda, I spoke to a woman called Tammy. She's got a lot to say about you and your bogus cannabis oil. $600, Emma, for cannabis oil. And she got it, you know what she got it delivered in? A meat tin, like for corned beef, that you put it in. A tin, yeah.
Really?
And it was like thick sludge. She said it was, she didn't know what it was. And she asked her money back, and she's threatened her, she's bullied her. This woman has stage 4 breast cancer. And it's spread to her bones. And Amanda Mary went on to say that, you know, you're not getting your money back, blah, blah, blah. But she told me the cannabis oil is coming from Europe. So
How
Amanda,
much did you pay her?
$600 for one.
$600 that could have gone on a trip for her and her family before she dies.
Yeah. But this is
That's
worse.
Amanda, yeah.
Her 2 friends bought the GC meth of Amanda, paid thousands, and one of them got really, really ill. Now, I'm hoping to talk to her. I think this is what's wrong with Amanda right now. She's right now on Sean Maguire defaming me and you as we speak.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Because nothing that she says is true.
Nope. You see, you know what she said? What did she say about me being responsible for what, Emma? The murder of 100
murders. So you've managed to get from Ireland over to 100 different people's addresses to kill them.
Mexico as well. I mean, you know, this is a funny thing. People must think that we've got like superpowers or something, that we fly around the world doing this. These are ordinary people that die. But what happens with Amanda and her cohorts that go, look, someone's dead. He must have been a murder. Can't be any reason for that. Yeah, but that's defamation. Like, she's calling us names. But maybe you'd like to share what she did last night with kids, what Amanda Mary did last night, which is why we're really here. Targeting children. Go for it, Emma.
Amanda, if you're listening to this, I've never gone near your children. Never. I've never messaged them. I've never said anything about them. I will now. If you're listening, Amanda's children, or if you get to see this, I pity you for having a mother that's a charlatan and a snake oil salesman. She's no one to be proud of, and I think you know that. But you won't care because you'll be enjoying the money that she brings in for your lavish lifestyles. We've seen the pictures. But understand this. You should not be targeting my children or Fiona's children. All right? They are innocent of anything. All right? Someone else is messaging.
I'm trying to ask because there's people want to join this.
You can torment me all day long, and you can say what you like about me all day long. All right? I've heard everything. I'm vaccine injured. We're both vaccine injured, me and Fiona.
Oh, God.
Asperger's. Okay, so we're both vaccine injured. We both have vaccine injured children, apparently. We don't want to cure our children with chlorine dioxide, bleach, or GC meth. I wonder why. Oh, because our children aren't guinea pigs. Okay. But apparently we don't want to heal them of autism because the benefits we are raking in are so lucrative. Fiona, how much you want? 200 grand a year?
Apparently. Yeah, this is it, guys. I'm a carer. I get a week. I get $260 a week. But apparently I'm on 200K a year. She's also said we get paid for all the campaign work that we do. We've never received one penny.
No, I don't receive any payment for any campaign work I do. I get 240 carers allowance, and then I get my income support, and I get the child benefit, which is only for the 2 youngest children now, because once children reach a certain age and they're not in full-time education, as you probably know, my daughter has recently had a baby. Say anything about that baby, I'll fuck you up. Sorry, it's true.
I mean, this is it, Amanda. Like, let's just talk a bit about her family then, because I was talking to her ex-husband actually last week, Doug Jewell.
Oh, Doug, who wanted to take me away to Bulgaria.
He wanted to bring you to Bulgaria. God knows to do what to you. I wouldn't want to think.
Exactly.
But he's no angel, guys. Okay, Doug is basically covering his ass to protect himself because he was being just as guilty. Let's make this clear. Of the bleach product, the GC meth, everything. Big money out of vulnerable people. But anyway, he spoke to me and he called her an evil psychopath. That's your ex-husband, Amanda Mary, okay? And I've also got that call recorded, and I'm using that call with this other call to prove to people. Because what people are saying to me, oh, it's the media, this isn't true, but we have real victims now coming forward because they're not afraid anymore, because they see people like myself and Emma standing up, and they think, you know, Amanda Mary threatens people, which is what she does. What did she say? She sent her buddy Dawn Edwards to me, sending men around to my house to beat me up, took a photograph of my house and put it out for people to see, threatening to come to my home. Just imagine that. This is a cancer researcher. I'm a cancer researcher for 2 decades. Can you imagine a real doctor doing that?
I think you're using the wrong accent there, Fee.
You go for it. Yeah,
I research cancer. Very posh accent. But I think I wasn't going to say this, but I think we should probably mention what Amanda used to do for a living.
Yeah, you go for it.
Amanda Mary, and this is not slut shaming because this slut has no shame. All right, Amanda Mary used to work in porn. From porn, and that's fine for any porn workers who are on there. You do your thing, you know, that's fine. That's your consenting adult, as long as no kids are involved. Doesn't blame me. It doesn't bother me at all. But when you're a porn star who knows no damn different, doesn't know anything about estates agencies, which is what you pretended to be next, about the man that you took for 20 grand, the disabled man that you told that you loved him, and then you moved on to so-called cancer research, and then you moved on to autistic children and bleach, and then you moved back again to cancer. But recently you've started again with autism and vaccine injury and all of those things. Now, can you just explain to me how a woman with no medical qualifications whatsoever went from anal facial specializing to treating autistic children and people dying of cancer? If you can tell me that, I'll be quiet.
But she can't. And what she's doing, actually, she's denying that. She's saying it's not true, but it is true. Because guess what? Amanda Mary has a tattoo, you see, on her left thigh, right high up, actually, of Mickey Mouse. Yeah, a head of Mickey Mouse. And yeah, you can see it in her photographs on her Facebook page. But Doug told me, yes, that it was
the Grim Reaper.
Great, but yeah, Mickey Mouse, you know, poor Mickey Mouse. I'll never view him the same. But the thing is, it is true, and it is relevant because, like you said, she's claiming to be a doctor. I mean, imagine being a doctor of the highest order, dealing with somebody's brain, and telling parents that she can cure their child. This boy right now has a GoFundMe page. They're trying to raise $30,000 to bring him back there. They've already given her 25. All of his college fund, every penny, gone into her pockets.
Yeah.
Gone into her abusive practice. She's injecting, wait for it, guys, stem cells from a sheep into human beings. Okay, so it's not even a human. And
they get a free jar of lamb and mint sauce to go with that, don't they, Fee?
It's a bad move. That's all I can say. I'm really sick of it.
I'm trying to get the other people on. You keep talking.
You know what? Yeah, you try. What I want to just say, though, I suppose, Amanda, is that this is a positive thing. You know, I have a lot of friends. Emma's my dear friend, and the lady that I've campaigned with from the start. But we did a protest against Scientology, another cult, and you know, they told me it's a positive sign that she's so enraged because you're obviously in trouble, Amanda. Now, I want to read a brief email that I got actually from the Minister for Health in Belize. Sorry, that's my cat. He always likes to talk when I'm on air. 1 second now. So I reported Amanda last week to the Belize authorities. She apparently tried to apply, wait for it guys, for a license to be a doctor last year, and they turned her down. I wonder why. Not very friendly, are they? Anyway, here's an email from the Director of Health Services, Amanda. Listen up. Hear me well, like Big Tree says. Okay, greetings. We are aware that she is not a doctor, Amanda Mary, and that she is not any council in Belize to be a doctor. Okay, so you're not a doctor. Okay, can you get that into your thick skull? Sorry, but I am a bit annoyed. We are aware that she doesn't have a license for a clinic, and ground investigation reveals that she doesn't actually have a label as a clinic. So she doesn't even have herself advertised as a clinic. That's a bit strange because, Amanda, you are sending emails to people saying that you're a doctor and that you can cure cancer. And I'm getting those emails from some very kind women from Pennsylvania tomorrow. And then it goes on to say, We are continuing to investigate this woman because of what she's up to. So I know that the police have got involved as well now, and it has been reported on in the news and police, I think, the last few days. So that is what's happening. And however, Amanda Mary still wants to continue on. She doesn't want to stop. So what do we do? What do we do when someone defames you? You know, do we go to the police or do we go to a lawyer?
No, right. Sorry to interrupt you. Is Tim on the other phone trying to sign people in? Because I've got people left, right, and centre. Emma Veronica is trying to get on. Michael's trying to get on. Amanda Siegler's trying to get on. Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Oh, she's gone. Amanda, come back. Fee, come back. Fee, has Amanda got you? Help. Help, help, help. I could sing. I could. I have no idea if anyone's watching or not. You know, we've got 7 more people to get on here. It's going to be hard. I hate technology. It is, it's horrible. Fiona! Where art thou? I'm just going to go into these messages, everybody. Hangouts is great, but if anyone who actually makes Hangouts or can alter Hangouts in any way on the App Store, getting people on is hell. Sheer hell. Sheer hell. Oh my goodness. See if I can get back in here now. Probably not. Goodness me. Now I've got to try and find out how to get back on here. It's so much fun. There we go. I can hear noises. Fiona!
I'm back. I'm trying to. I'm here. Hi. Okay, sorry.
I thought Amanda had come and taken you.
No, Hi,
Hello!
Hello!
And you're on my telly as well. And my
This
phone.
is great. Hi, that's great. I am
Fiona.
Nice to meet you. Do you want to introduce yourself, Emma?
Good work, Fiona. Nobody believes their bullshit.
I know.
Okay,
yeah.
She's clearly unhinged. She's been messaging me, silly cow. I've never said
What's she
two
saying?
words to women. What's the problem?
Well, her problem is that she wants to continue.
Oh, my poor thing.
Oh, we got 3 people.
Oh, I look like such a muppet in my dressing gown.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Emma, and just say a few words? Makes a change.
I'm Emma. I'm autistic. I have an autistic child. She's 13. She's absolutely delightful and fabulous.
Emma, can you move back from the camera a bit?
Yes.
There you go.
I'm getting confused because I've got it on my telly and my phone. I'm going to switch the telly off. Hang on.
Fiona, Michael Page said that he's going to the part and there's no invitation there.
Well, what happened when you clicked on the link, Emma? Where did it take you?
It's
like the link
I had
that
to
we
sign in again. I had to sign in again, and then you go to invitations, and then it says join. But none of them are getting invitations.
The link on the YouTube, on the comments, I clicked on both of those because it was posted twice and I couldn't get through. It said invalid. But the link you sent me on Messenger, when I clicked on that, it let me sign in.
That's the link. I've shared that link with Emma.
Can Timmy go into Messenger and send them all the link to this. Not in there, on Messenger.
You mean Facebook Messenger?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I have to add them. Hang on. I'm send it to Michael first and see if you can do it once. It's a great thing, Google, isn't it?
This is very clever.
I've sent that to. Well, it is. If you can, it's just complicated.
Works.
Yeah.
And it isn't.
Which I really don't. But
yeah.
Yeah, I've sent that to Melissa and to Michael, but I don't know.
Have you sent it to Ryan? Wants to come on.
Okay. Can you hang on? Can you send? Have you got your phone with you, Emma? No, you're using.
Yeah, I'm using it, and if I come out of here, I'll lose you.
Okay, I'll try.
I'll never come back again, and I'll be wandering in vaccine injured wilderness.
I can send the link to Ryan from my phone. I can send the link that Fiona sent me to Ryan. Ryan,
yes, please.
Hendry, is it?
Ryan Hendry.
Yeah. Okay.
Joseph Redford.
Hang on, I need to write that down.
Okay. And Melissa is there, but she can't.
I am here, just not in the camera.
Emma, do you want to talk about what happened with you when you talked to Amanda Mary? Remember, she tried to sell you stuff.
I didn't engage with her. Oh, the other Emma you're on about.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Two Emmas.
Right, Emma. Yeah, I will. Fee, hold on. Emma, can you send one to Joseph Redford? He's in my friends list.
Yeah.
Amanda Siegler.
Hey.
Michael Page.
Michael Page.
Who's that?
Ryan.
That's Ryan. Is that Ryan Hendry?
Right, hang on.
Hiya.
Right.
Oh, you're here, Ryan. That's great.
Hi, Ryan.
Is that my camera the right way
okay,
up?
so not Ryan Hendry anymore then. So Michael Page wants to come on. Joseph Redford wants to come on.
Yeah, anyone else?
Sorry, I'm just trying to...
Where's Tim?
Tim is with the kids.
Oh, okay. Amanda Siegler. Eve Ryland.
Eve Ryland. Badass activist.
Yeah, badass activist.
Okay, I'll go and find those people.
Thank you. There was someone else wanted to come on, didn't they? But I can't remember who it was. Ryan, how are you?
Hi, Ryan. Because we're driving people mad.
I'm just in from delivering a workshop for autistic people in employment, so quite buzzing after that, but a bit tired as well.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
2 seconds. There's something in my fridge.
Amanda Mary, I contacted her last year, and I told her that I wanted to cure my terminally ill mother who had cancer. This is what I told her. My mother doesn't have cancer. I lied. I went undercover and lied and said, that my mother had cancer and, what could she do for her? And she immediately offered GC math treatment at her clinic. I said that I didn't have enough money. She started looking at flights and was pressuring me into getting my mother over there. I then told her that I have an autistic son. She immediately offered for him to come over with me and to put us in a secluded part of the place that she was running because he'd be loud and would disturb other patients, right? I asked her, is there anything you can do for autism? Because I wanted to see what she'd offer me. And she offered MMS for my autistic child. I said, how would I give it to him? She said, in enemas and oral solutions. I said, I've got no idea how to do an enema. She offered to do it for me on my son. So, and for the grand total of 25 grand, she wanted to fly us over and abuse my terminally ill mother.
Sorry,
with GC math, 25 grand. She was asking if she had fillings in her mouth. She wasn't really that interested in the medical side. She didn't want to know what stage she was at or, exactly where the cancer was located, how big the tumour was. She didn't want to know any of that.
Feels effectively and how to get the money.
Eve?
Yeah, hi.
Oh my god!
Hey.
Press your camera.
This is getting like a real party now. This is great.
It is.
It's getting very international.
Is it
I
working?
go over to
Eve, put your camera up. There she is.
Can you see me now?
I can see you. Yeah.
I adjusted for you people.
Badass is in the house. My girl. Hello, darling.
Hi. Ooh, look at all the fabulous hair. Look at your hair, Fiona.
this. I'm like the regular hairsprings. I've got a lung infection. I've just come back from the doctor. My right lung is infected. Yeah, so I've got loads of antibiotics. Real medicine. So yeah, no quack treatments here.
Big Pharma. Did Big Pharma give you that? Did you pay for it, Fee?
Pharma whore, yeah. I'm a big pharma whore.
Rural court, that hotbed of the farm.
Right, Michael still can't get on. Michael Page still can't get on.
I'm trying to help him. It's like Google would drive you over the edge. It's like
Oh, Emma Bretton's gone. I think she's probably gone to try and send the link again.
Just me, I work in IT. I know how terrible it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent the invite to Michael like I sent to you guys, and it should work. I don't know what's going on.
The problem is that if someone hasn't used it before, then they need to sign in and everything, and then sometimes
they have to sign in and then they have to go to invitation.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've sent the link to Eve. Hi, Eve. She's already there. And Michael and Amanda.
How does the camera keep switching?
Right, guys, I'm sat here. I'm wiggling. Do you mind if I run off to the toilet?
Yes.
Back in a minute. I won't close it. I'll just put it up at the ceiling, all right?
Yeah. Do you want to say a few words, Eve? Do you want to like just introduce yourself and just...
Yeah, Eve, tell them about Badass and our stance on autistic mistreatment. I've recently joined Eve on Autistic Cooperative, and we are doing something called Autistic Mums Rising. So yeah, if you could speak about that quickly, Eve.
I've seen a bit about this. This looks very good, actually, I think.
Yeah, Autistic Mums answering back. Badly needed.
It's good. It's just two birds with one stone, and there's no way usually the cries, oh, you don't understand how hard it is to be a parent.
Yeah.
And then someone turns around and says they are a parent, and suddenly shift the goalposts. You go, fuck knows whatever it is, your child isn't. It's like a one-upsmanship, effectively. No, it's like a competition to say, I have the most tragic life, or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really a competition you want to win.
Eve?
Yeah. Hi. So I'm Eve Ryland. Most of you, well, I don't know. I know it's me, so we're good there at least. But I am the founder of International Badass Activist. And I'm not sure how to do this right, so is this working?
We can see you. That's fine. We can hear you.
Okay. Awesome. And I started out a long time ago in mental illness. That's my diagnosable disability is PTSD. But in stigma fighting that, and during that campaign, I realized the illiteracy, shockingly, about autism awareness, and I utterly thought I was on the wrong planet, because what were these people talking about in the middle of this campaign? I realized I had a bigger campaign, and I had been really just kind of off the planet for a while because of my disability. I went into a state of not being able to talk or walk or do anything for some years, and then when my brain and body came back online, well, it's just taking time because I don't really remember a lot. So I'm catching up in this big world, and the last 2 years I've been working on figuring out where everybody's at in the autism world, because in 2008 and 9, I was running a campaign back then, but then I can't find anyone anymore when I came back around, and all I could see was over, and I was appalled. So had to do something, and I get so angry when I see it out there. I see activists out there talking, and they're being told that they're too high functioning or too low functioning, or that they're young and they don't know any better, or this or that. Well, I'm 45 years old. Go fuck yourself. I did not get your MMRs. I blame it on lead paint chips. If you need a conspiracy theory, I was nossing that shit in the 70s and smelling bad gas fumes. I don't know. Where do they think this came from? I was born with it. So, I have a child who's 24, autistic. His father, autistic. His younger brother, autistic. I get kids coming out of the community, autistic, and I become their mother because they will not go back to the home that they were in, being misunderstood and blamed for everything in the family regardless, and used and abused and left nothing. It's horrifying out here, and I'm tired of hearing women like Judith Newman and all them with their level of privilege and whatever, talking about whatever they want to talk about and having the power and authority to do so. They took these mom groups and they overwrote the actual autistic community voice, decided they are the autistic community, and I'm sorry, that's the Hollywood version. It's not the real version of what we're living with. This is not the crisis the autistic people are actually living with. So, yes, have your emotions, whatever you gotta get through, but don't unpack your bags and fucking live there. Get out, get on with it, join us in this fight, because until then, you're neurotypical parents advocating for neurotypical parents of autistic. You're not with us. You're in the humans world of autism. So, autistic moms rise. We're going to take back the Autism Mom PM. We are not children. We are not trolls. We're not Russian. I don't know how many names that we're not, what we get called. We are mothers. And we have lived experience. And we know the horror stories. We know everything that's coming, and we've had to figure it out with our kids. And when I don't hear these parents talking about the number one early cause of death, yeah.
Can I ask you what you think about the whole cure movement?
It's ridiculous. Our brains are not lab toys for parents. And they're not thinking about autistics at all. They're thinking about themselves. And I don't get it. You know, you're going to harm a child's brain. You think it's vaccinated harm, and you're going to treat it with bleach? What the fuck?
I think in a
what's wrong with people?
The cure movement's a lot bigger because of the way the health industry works then, and you got to pay for your health care, and therefore, you know, people.
How many people are on here right now?
There's a good few now. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, can we just stop for 1 second? Because Timmy just wants to say something about the show Amanda Mary has given. She's live right now talking about autistic people in the most
Turn it up. Can we hear it?
Well, no, well, she's finished talking now, but I just recorded
Go on,
it. But,
Timmy.
I didn't hear it all, but I think the gist of it was, you know, the stuff that was in that blog. And she kept talking about the 140,000 that you're getting off the government because you've got a false diagnosis.
Yeah, my diagnosis is invalid. Yeah.
That was the gist of it, basically. She thinks.
That's just
I actually just make it clear. I'm not on disability allowance.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm a carer. I could get disability allowance because I was diagnosed twice, not once, twice. So yeah.
One more thing before I forget. Robert K. Morris just came on now.
Yeah.
And they're talking to each other about Aliki. And
oh wow, the woman that died. Yeah.
She said, "Get this," and Robert said, she was almost cured. It was incredible.
She was almost cured until she died of cancer.
But no, get this. But I think she loved her sweets, and she couldn't stop eating the sugar.
Oh my god!
And what would have happened?
She blamed the woman. Then she's blaming the woman for eating sweets.
For dying.
Sorry, that's it. That's it.
Basically,
this woman. I just want to just briefly explain. This woman was. I'm 46 years old. This woman was in her 30s. Right? She has a tiny daughter. I think she's 5. They took her from Brighton, UK, to Mexico. She had very serious brain cancer, terminally ill. They told her they could cure her, gave her all her life savings. When she arrived at Amanda Mary's clinic, they ripped the fillings out of her head because they said they're bad and they're going to make your cancer worse. They tortured her. They injected her with DC math, bleach, stem cells. She died. She died. And guess where her daughter is now? With this quack. In the hands of this quack. Because she ate sweets. So it's all her fault. Oh my goodness. So Aliki, it's her fault. Do you know what Amanda Mary? I swear to God, and I'm saying this here with all my friends and autistic advocates out here tonight. I am liaising with the authorities and police about this woman right now. it is one thing. This woman is not going to just be exposed. She's going to be held accountable for what she's done. I know in total 7 people that were clients of hers that are dead, including an Irish one in Washington.
I've heard, is it the Romanian authorities? Are they not wanting to question for 5 people? That's it. She seems to be able to jump from jurisdiction to jurisdiction without. She knows how to play the system. Put it that way. But
the laws in a lot of these countries are very laid back. But this country believes, Central America, I'm not a great geography, but I've talked to them.
The fact that a sort of a state that pretty much allows safe haven.
They're doing more, Ryan. They're doing more than the English are, and I have to say that. Like Emma knows, Amanda Mary, they went into her home. They walked to her mansion.
They sat down with Mark Grennan.
Had a cup of tea. They let her go. Yeah. But people need to know this because she's selling these products in Ireland, in America. There's a boy in Pennsylvania. Sorry, that's another client. There's a boy in Las Vegas, brain cancer. 16. Father reached out.
Breaking.
So basically, what she does is she looks for where the laws allow the loopholes, abuses the loophole, the loophole gets closed, and then moves on and finds the next one. It's a very slick business operation. I think that's what they were looking at, saying that these people aren't unintelligent. They know what they're doing. This narrative that these are people misguided yet well-intentioned needs to be blown out of the water. These people have absolutely every knowledge of what they're doing, and all they care about is the dollar signs from desperate parents who they've brainwashed. In fact, that's how I said that my anger isn't so that I would be angry at parents who go down that road, but if the parents are pulled out, if the parents have been failed at every opportunity, I mean, the fact that these people
this is a tricky question. I think Eve, you were kind of, trampling on that element. Yeah, there's a desperate situation. Your child has got brain cancer. They're really, really ill. But that doesn't give you the right as a parent to allow him to be experimented on. And this is where I think that a child, whether they're a child, they're not part of the parent. They have their own individual rights. And that's what I've been doing for years. You don't own your kid.
The problem, the parents don't see the children as being separate from them.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because a lot of what I've noticed as well, like this becomes with autism moms or whatever you want to call them. Their kids don't seem to have the right to privacy.
No.
Very hard and fast rule I've always thought is that, would you like that written about you? And if the answer is no, don't write it. Just simply don't write it. And people always go, but it's about honesty. Well, there's about honesty. There's things I could write about members of my family that would be in the name of honesty, and I'm pretty sure that would lead to them not speaking to me ever again, and rightly so, because certain things are not, just because it's your kid doesn't mean it's your right to tell them. Put it this way, I'm not in detail about their teenage child's issues with toileting, and I was thinking, what a great way to hand ammunition to people for the rest of his life.
Emma, can you try sending... Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Emma, can you try sending Joseph Redford and Michael Page the link again one more time and just tell them what to do, because they're not getting it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's not happening.
No worries. It's fine.
Amanda, sit down.
Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
That's Jaden.
Ah.
I have not gone to the store yet, buddy.
You going to the store, yeah?
No, I just came back from walking a dog, and he wanted to know if I went to the store. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, Amanda, while Emma's gone, to try and get everybody else on, would you mind saying a few words about how you're feeling about all the quack treatments that's being peddled for autism, and what you think about Amanda Mary, please?
I don't think words can describe right now.
Can you stay still?
She is. She offered to cure Aaron's type 1 diabetes months back, saying that this is going to kickstart his pancreas, and I told her where to go. Because I'm quite loud about it during Diabetes Awareness Month. What are you doing, Jaden? I got the mail. All right, go in the house, please. And it's pathetic that she's preying on all these people.
She's just everywhere. Amanda, you're really shiny. Sit down.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
For those that don't know what shiny means, it's a term for ADHD. Amanda obviously can't stay still.
Yeah, I'm what they call a shiny ass.
Shiny Orty.
Running around.
What shiny means, it's a term for ADHD. Amanda obviously can't stay still.
Yeah, I'm what they call
shiny Orty.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, can you hear me? Amanda obviously can't stay still.
Yeah, I'm what they call.
The sound's dropping in and out real bad. Shiny Orty.
Yeah,
can you hear me? Wow. What's going on? It sounds dropping in and out.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's audio quality's went down instead of
All right, I'm gonna get off now. I'm gonna get on my.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's audio quality's
It's like a vomit of sound.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming.
Like a vomit of sound.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming.
Joseph, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Brilliant. All right. Fiona, do you know what's happening? Yeah, I can see you. Joseph, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, right. Joseph is on. Eve is on. Amanda, are you still
My
there?
sound turned off, so if you say I cannot hear the noise, so
Right, Eve,
we'll pick back and see if it's gone later.
can you hear me, Eve? Okay, right. Joseph is on. Eve is on. Hi, Luke.
What, Mel?
Right, Eve, you still there?
Oh, wow. It's all
On. Eve is on. It's gone crazy. It's gone mad.
Hello? What's going on?
It's gone mad. It's like chaos.
It's like century uploaded. It's like what?
Like, you just need some scary music in the background there.
What? What happens? What? What happens?
That's a good one.
Yeah, hello? What? I can still hear an absolute box on a plate. Right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, hello? What? What's going on? I can still hear an absolute box on a plate. What's going on? Still
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's killing me. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's killing me. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's killing me. All right, has the sound sorted itself out? Because it's actually painful. Joseph? Right, he's gone. I'm here.
Okay.
The sound went crazy. Everyone left because it hurt.
Yeah, it was too. I see the bandwidth, the internet. It's just too many people. Then the whole thing just falls apart.
Do you want to say more words, Emma? Either Emma or.
Well, no, I think
downstairs in the kitchen.
Right,
I'll be back 1 minute.
Do you want to say a few words, Emma?
About Amanda?
Yeah, or anything about quack treatments, or just what do you think should be done about these people that are preying on family?
I think what they're doing is sickening, but I think the worst part of it is the fact that they are preying on parents who are desperate. When they first got a diagnosis, they don't understand. And they come in and they say, "Is something wrong with your child? You've broken it. You need to fix it." I just think that's disgusting. Although I do think there comes a point where you've got to think to yourself, whatever you're doing for your child, are you doing it to make their life easier or yours? Because I think often with things like quack treatments and ABA and forced neurotypical behaviour on an autistic child often seems to be very much about the benefit of the person subjecting the child to it and not the child. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what makes it so wrong and so despicable.
They're very good points. And that's exactly what it is, isn't it?
With Elmo Mum that was going online, and I read about this woman. I didn't read it all.
Yeah.
But I got to the part where the triumphant moment where he looks like everybody else. And I thought, oh my God,
Have you read that, Fiona?
Not
Have you read the piece about the mother?
I'm aware of the Elmo.
She basically.
No, this is a different. We're thinking it's the same mum under a pseudonym.
It's
Whitney.
not Cooper's one. It's the other one.
All right, there's another Elmo's mum. Okay,
So this one was the long and the short of it was she wanted him to see Elmo. She wanted that picture perfect moment. She wanted her kid to do what every other kid does.
All right, Michael Page is freaking out because he can't get on. He's getting really angry. I've told him to click on it.
He has on his computer. I think he's been doing it from his phone. It won't work on my phone. I'm on the laptop. That's the only way I can do it.
It's working on my phone.
Your phone is better than everyone else's.
Emma, did you send him the link?
Phone.
He's clicking on the link. It's taking him to the App Store. I told him to sign in. Mm-hmm. And then when he goes to invitations, there's a little man crying. There's no invitation.
Because we've sent the link. I mean, what else do he do?
He doesn't need an invite.
He doesn't need an invite. He just has to click on the link.
You should be able to join.
Yeah, when you click on the link, it does take you to the App Store. Okay. And then you have to sign in, and then you have to go and look for the invitation.
Oh.
That's what happened to me first.
Yeah.
And then
I used a different link.
She used the link that I sent in Messenger.
I tried the two on the YouTube chat. and they didn't work, and I signed in. The first time I had to sign in, and it said invalid link, and the second time it said something else, like the same. And then when I did the one in Messenger...
Did you send him the link, Emma?
Yeah, we have.
I've sent him
I've sent him it as well.
All right.
I think he needs to do it on his computer. It won't work on my phone. Maybe, I don't know why, but it didn't work on my phone.
Well, look, I'll type his email in here and I'll send him the
Well,
link.
we'll type his email in. Hang on one second. Yeah, I'm going to try now.
I'll just type it in.
There, look, see? We don't want to call out any emails here. We've got enough crap.
Where is it?
There. There. Can you see?
I need some shit now. I'm going to sign myself out. Where am I?
I can hear you, Emma. You're not signed out.
Am I not? Where am I?
I can't see you.
I think you've made really good points, Emma, as well, about how it's seen from the parent's perspective, and that's what this is all about. It's not actually seen from the child's perspective. And that's why this industry is here. And it's to do with we have to mention the anti-vaccine movement. It was really Wakefield that brought about this belief that kids are vaccine injured and products are going to cure their children. When my son was diagnosed in '94, Wakefield was just kind of on the scene.
Excuse me.
So
I sent Michael an invite.
I think that he's pretty much. There was an article actually, I think, in the Guardian, was it yesterday or the day before, about Wakefield, and how he's getting stronger. He's getting stronger even after over 6. Oh look, hang on, who's that? Hello, it's somebody. Michael, is it?
Hello.
You're there. Michael is here. Look. Eventually.
It suddenly appeared on the screen.
Can you hear? Hi, Michael. Can you turn up your mic a little bit?
Everybody here?
I'm sorry about trying to not get on. It's been a nightmare. Do you want to say a few words, Michael? Your turn to talk.
Okay, where are we?
Well, we've been talking about Amanda Mary and quack treatments and rights for autistic people. Amanda Mary's gone out and done a show. It's just ending right now, and she's defamed me and other people. So I don't know. What's your view on all that?
It's well, it's criminal, isn't it?
I think so.
The so-called cures that she's promoting, which have no basis in any sort of science at all, and also
I can't hear you.
Hello, everybody. I can see lots of other people now. Hello, Emma.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you speak a little bit louder? Is that Michael?
Can you hear me?
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah. Is that any good at sort of shouting now?
Faint.
Oh dear. Hang on. I haven't got my finger on the mic or anything. Is that any better?
No.
Oh dear. Don't know where the mic is. Hello.
So I can hear you, but it's low. But yeah, go on, Michael. Yeah, we can hear. Barely. The sound isn't great.
Okay. I was just saying that the so-called cures that she's promoting, not only do they not have any basis in actual, science, they're also positively dangerous. But also when it comes to autistic people, autistic children, whoever she's trying to sell them to, that the stated aim of the cures is an unscientific one as well, because it's not a thing to be cured. So she's selling something that isn't a cure for a thing that doesn't need to be cured. And on top of all that, it's something which is positively damaging people as well. I mean, at least, in the Wild West, snake oil salesman sold something that does nothing at all, but she's selling something that's actually hurting people.
That's a good point. Like, homeopathy is something that people say doesn't hurt people, but it does actually, because it makes people away from proper professional care. Because their parents are led to believe. There was a little boy actually in Spain a couple of years ago, had an ear infection, and went to homeopath, didn't get an antibiotic, ended up getting encephalitis of the brain, and he died because he didn't get an antibiotic. It's like the other parents who were curing meningitis with maple syrup. So what we have now are harmless household products becoming deadly weapons, because these parents think they're Dr. Google, and that's what's going on here. It's like a growing movement. It's not just about their views on whether something should be cured or not. They're anti the establishment, so they're basically a cult. Is the proper term, in my opinion. A man cult called the Genesis 2 Church, and I think she's still in there. What do you think, Emma?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wasn't Mark Brennan there not so long ago?
Yeah, and she's plugging his book. He's written a book, you know, that basically about how bleach can cure the world of disease. And
under his own, is it under the Genesis 2 label?
Yes, and Jim Humble. Jim Humble. It's what he must be 82 now. Has his own publishing company, so he's publishing these books. He's not that much in the front line anymore, so he's publishing books. So Mark Brennan has a book. Andreas Kalker has a book, and they're making a lot of money out of the books. Like the bleach itself isn't that expensive, but it's the other products that they combine together with that, like the stem cells and this other crap.
The GC Math and the Rerum are the most lucrative out of all of them.
GC Math would be a really, really expensive product. And like, again, you know, the parents that are using these products are breaking the law. The family that I'm going to expose, which will lead to more abuse, are doing this right now on their son in America. And I've tried to reach out to them. Like Emma and I suppose what we find really shocking is that when you go to parents and you give them the education and you're nice to them, which we always very polite, you think surely now they'll come around to their senses. No, this doesn't change. And even when their kids are dying in front of their eyes from bleach enemas, when their insides are being passed onto plates, when there's blood coming out of their back passage, when they're vomiting, when their hair's falling out, when their toenails are falling off. This is what Emma and I have witnessed in 5 years. We've seen children basically.
That's taxing, Faye.
I know, that's what these lunatics say.
That's the side effects, that's the autism leaving them. That's not, apparently that's not harmful, that's fine. Even when a child is doubled over, can't walk, and is bleeding from their nose and from their anus and from their throat, and, you know, that's all good.
And do you know what? The awful thing is, well, they don't want to give their children pain relief. So when they're in such agony, when they have fever,
no Calpol, nothing like that is allowed. It should also be noted that the last individual that was removed from their parents' care after a report of mine was a 23-year-old man. It wasn't a child. I won't say his name, obviously, but his mother put up a picture of a piece of broken bowel lining. It was bloodied.
I remember that.
And she was. Do you remember that? And she said that it was in 2 parts and it had broken in half because her son had tried to escape. She'd actually been pulling it out of his anus.
Holy shit!
So he'd managed to get away. So, you know, she was quite pissed that it was broken. This individual was profoundly autistic. He was pre-verbal. He had learning difficulties. He was completely vulnerable to this woman. You can't even call her a mother. I don't call her a mother. In fact, I don't call any of the parents that do this parents. They're not parents.
You need a life for a dog, don't you?
A parent is meant to parent and guide and protect and nourish and cherish. Yeah. These people don't do any of that. They hold their children down in bleach baths so that the bleach gets up their nose and down their throat and into their ears because, of course, parasites live there as well, don't they? You mad bastards. So,
oh yeah, they call that bath the Ring of Fire, like the Johnny Cash song, a Ring of Fire. Because they immerse them into this bleach so every orifice of their body, basically drown their body with bleach.
Yeah, and on the full moon,
on the
full moon, that's when the parasites breed, and that's what they call POWS, pissed off worm syndrome. Funny that it also is the same as prisoners of war. But they say that the parasites breed at that time, so they have to double dose of bleach. So every time I go out or I look out the window and there's a full moon, I don't think how pretty that is. It hurts because I think of all the children that are being double dosed with bleach all around the world.
And another point I just want to add to the parents that do this. People say to me and to Emma, oh, they're poor. They're uneducated. They don't know what they're doing.
Not. We've reported policemen, doctors, teachers, medical staff, doctors, nurses, bankers. These are educated people that are revolted by their own children's autism.
And they will kill them in a bid to stop them being autistic. They will do anything.
Well, at least they won't be autistic anymore then, eh?
People
That's how they see it.
come in all shapes and sizes from all forms of society. And they are more often in positions of power because they put themselves there. Now,
I'm talking to
these
5 people
parents
right
are
now.
abusing their children, and you can't sit there and go, but my child's autistic, so my
Right, well,
life's
come
hard,
here,
so that
but
makes
don't
it
let
okay
yourself...
because
Come here.
and it is abuse.
Behind.
They're too poor or they're too ignorant.
And then put your...
Just like any other abusive parent of any neurotypical child,
Oh.
they are...
I've covered the camera.
Abusive people who will...
Right, off you go.
Who have got the smarts to get away with it as well. You can't say these people are poor and thick, that, you know, to get away with it for such a long time. To do that to your child, how could you pin down your child?
You think Mama would ever sleep?
Damien, you've left the door open.
That's okay. You just, you know,
come back and close it.
And there's no excuse for that.
No.
So what do you think should be done to the parents then, Emma?
It's not parenting, is it?
Me?
It's not parenting, is it?
Me or that, Emma?
That's very bad, isn't
Any
it?
parent who would see that
Emma
happening.
Breton. Can you hear us?
I think they certainly shouldn't be allowed any more children ever. And I mean, the worst they'd get is jail, isn't it?
But they don't get jail.
They don't get jail because they're desperate, you see. They're so desperate and so put upon, these poor parents, and social services and the police. The police are powerless, basically, because social services have to be brought in. And then the social services turn around and say, but they're so desperate. They need
so how
support.
is that any different? How is that any different from a parent saying, well, I've got half a dozen kids and they were all playing up and I was having a really bad day, so I beat the crap out of them, but I was desperate?
Because that's intentional violence. That's intentional violence. This is a parent, a so-called vulnerable parent, thinking that they can cure their children's autism. Yeah, but this is what I hear. This is what I hear. All right, this isn't what I think. These parents are vulnerable. Yeah, these parents are vulnerable to this.
Like sit there and go, okay, I'll take this. Certainly not the first few times.
Yeah.
They might get them to conform eventually. To me, that is equally violent. In fact, that's worse. That's rape.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for saying that. I've always said that. It is anal rape. And the little girl that was removed from her parents' care, I think it was last year before, that's what the police went with. They went with sexual abuse, and I was overjoyed that they used that term, because it is sexual abuse.
Absolutely.
It is forced penetration with an enema full of bleach.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how painful that is for anybody to have an enema? I've actually had
a normal amount of fluid that's going into these children either. It's not what would be recommended by a doctor, let's say, you know, someone qualified. It's triple the amount.
And it's not a fun experience.
It's torture.
No, it's not.
Just think of the humiliation as well, and like Ryan was touching on that, which was important, the invasion of privacy. Like for an adult, even more so, like Emma was saying, that man. In Ireland, we have a case in Galway right now that's under investigation, a 17-year-old non-verbal autistic young man whose siblings tried to stop their mother. They actually tried to, so after Primetime aired was it June 2015, we thought she'd come round. She went back into CD autism and started abusing her son again. And she's a nurse. She works for the Department of Health in Ireland. So here is a nurse knowing the dangers of this product and working with vulnerable people and still giving this to her son. And this poor boy has lost a lot of weight, because what MMS does, if you're on it a long time, it corrodes your insides. So you're not able to digest food properly anymore. So his brother was messaging me on Facebook saying he's emaciated. He's half the weight that he used to be. So it doesn't just cause these awful burning symptoms. What it does over a long period of time is that it depletes the body and it damages the kidneys. And then it's too late.
It breaks it down, doesn't it? It breaks down healthy tissue.
So that you can't recover, like the boy in America that ended up with a colostomy bag at the age of 6 years. 6-year-old with a colostomy bag. That's what bleaching will do over a long period of time. So when people are saying, you know, in the groups, oh, he's fine, he's just vomiting and he's, you know, fainting and that. If you keep your kid on this crap.
How is vomiting and fainting fine?
Yeah, but you see, the
autism's leaving Emma. It's hurting.
Yeah. It's so evil, like. And if you think about Rivera, you bitch, you absolute vile creature. What's good news? I'm sharing good news here because I can't say too much. Emma knows about this, but she is under investigation in Germany. She's living there. She's living there with an eye doctor. Hello, because I'm about to get eye surgery. Someone that specializes in what I need done, actually. He took his 2-year-old baby to Mexico and gave him bleach enemas. And Rivera pinned down his baby. This is a doctor in Germany, you know, a respectable country. And Rivera's moved to Germany because what happened is she ended up breaking up this doctor's marriage. So she's living in Germany. And we found you, honey, and we've got your address, and the shit's going to hit the fan. And that's all I can say for now, but that is happening. And she's like she's the top, isn't she? But Amanda Mary, like Emma and I have been talking about, you know, who's the worst. I think Amanda Mary is much worse because she's targeting not just autistic kids, but people with cancer, people that are terminally ill, that know they're going to die. And
yes, that is
taking their money. The woman in Ireland that died, her client from Waterford, okay? Her name is Angela Marr, and I'm saying her name because I know her daughter, Debbie. And I begged her. I begged Debbie, didn't I beg you to stop abusing your mother? They ran out of money. We don't have any money left. Mam's getting worse. The GC math is making her really sick. You know what Amanda Mary told this family? Go and start a GoFundMe. Raise more money. And she said, okay. And do you know what happened a week later? The mother died. And I told Emma, I remember at the time I rang you, I was in pieces. I felt responsible. I felt like maybe I could have done more. Maybe I should have pushed further. I reported it to the authorities. You know what they told me in Ireland? She's a consenting adult. I said, no, she's not. She's got brain cancer. She's not thinking straight. But her family are exploiting her. They're not giving her chemo. They didn't want to give her chemotherapy. Amanda calls it mustard gas. Don't you, Amanda? Don't bring your mother to the chemotherapy session. Give her this GC math instead.
I've got a headache.
You know? It's horrendous. I mean, she needs to be locked up. There's no other solution, really. But I don't know how to. I mean, we're trying to do that, aren't we? That's what we're trying to do. And look at what we get, you know, for speaking out. You know, look
I
how.
can't believe she's
messaging Emma's children and my children on Facebook. She's messaging my son. Yeah.
Everyone else. And it's my message was a nice little article defaming you, which I'd already seen and reported. I don't know why she bothered sending it to me. It was all bollocks. But why would you do that? Absolutely no reason whatsoever. I've never interacted with her. Nothing.
If
what she was doing was right and okay, and you were just out to get her for no apparent reason, would she be messaging all and sundry trying to defame you?
No.
Personally messaging. Of course she wouldn't.
You see, what I'd like, Amanda, and I suppose, you know, we're all getting tired now, is I call on you, Amanda Mary Jewell. I'm calling on you, okay, to come out and show us your credentials. We'd love to see them. Your doctorate, your university studies, and not Elmo's alphabet, which is what she's put in the blog, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's see those papers. I asked Caroline Goldsmith, the other fake psychologist, for them. We want to see her papers. Share them with us, Amanda, okay? And all the people that you've cured. And imagine that. I mean, that is the final thing, isn't it? Blaming that poor woman. She had sweets. Wow. It's appalling. I mean, I'm fuming now, whatever. But I'm sharing a blog either late tonight. I don't know. I'm not well. You can hear me coughing. I'm trying to get as much evidence against Amanda for people to see the victims. Let them talk, you know? For the respect for the dead people that died at the hands of her quack treatments. That's what we're doing. We're here to speak for them. And if Aliki had a sweet, good on her. Do you know what? If I was dying of brain cancer, I think I would like a few sweets, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely appalling.
Hi, Ryan.
Hiya. That's ridiculous what she said anyway. If sweets killed you, children would never grow up.
Ryan, Amanda on the show, she said that the mother who died, it was her own fault because she was having sweets.
Well, that's funny.
I caught part of that. It was about pulling her own teeth out and all.
Sorry?
They said sweets saved Aaron's life. They can't be that bad.
I just came on to say I'm actually having to go off now. It's quite late. I've had a very long day.
No, yeah,
Okay.
So it's great. Anyway, we get a chance to speak to you briefly, but I'm shattered.
Thanks, Lauren.
You will see me. You'll see Emma at the protest. Michael, are you going to the protest?
Well, I'll hopefully see you in London when I'm there for the National Autism Project. So,
yeah.
Right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Ryan.
Timmy's going to talk for a while. I've
got a headache.
Oh, I'm not talking.
Go on, Timmy. Talk
I
to
have
the crowd.
talked.
No, please. Tell
I'm
us what you
dinner.
saw on the video. Go on, please.
What video?
I mean, the radio show, Sean Maguire.
I didn't hear half. I heard those little snippets.
Tell them, please.
Yeah, I've
Because
told them already.
I'm finding it hard to breathe.
Yeah, she's crazy anyway. Yeah. We all know that already. Totally insane. He's down there now interviewing some woman who said she was cured. I think that Robert cured of, I don't know, what was it, breast cancer or something? Yeah, it's all made up anyway. Yeah, so don't worry about it. We'll get her.
Michael, you see what you just did with your camera? Yeah? What you've just done with your camera, if you sit back where you were, can you see the light?
Oh, God.
I can't look at that.
Okay. No, okay.
Thanks.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
So, yeah, everything's all right. You're not on camera, all right.
Right.
All it appears in my head.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I think Emma is fighting for legislation in England, and I think we need it. Even if these products are deemed as dangerous, we don't have enough legislation to prosecute people. So even if you catch a bleacher, like we did in Ireland, he gets £4,000 fine. I mean, that isn't giving them an appetite to stop, because if they're only going to get fined a few £1,000s, it's nothing to them. Yeah, they get convicted and they've got a criminal record, but the punishment isn't enough. And after 5 years campaigning for one bleacher in Ireland, look what it's done to me. I'm half blind. That's why I've got these funny glasses on. And I've got an infected lung. Emma's been really ill. Emma's had cancer. And I do think it's impacted our health. I really, really do.
Emma might have it again.
No, that can't happen. I'm not going to let that happen. We've gone through a lot. I suppose I'd like to just briefly talk about that, because I have to go and take some medicine. This has impacted our lives in a very, very negative way, personally. It's affected my family. My family are being exploited as we speak. My beautiful son is being intimidated by this bitch, which is what you are, Amanda Mary. And I swear, like Emma said, you target my kids. You can call me all the names you want. You can laugh at my hair. You can laugh at my diagnosis. You can say it's not real. I'm after my kids. Gloves are off. Okay? This piece of crap, Sean Maguire, lives in Galway, which is where my dad comes from in Ireland, has gone out and done this. I warned him not to do it. I reached out to him early today, and I told him if he did it, I was going to sue him, and I am. And I haven't got any money, but I'm going to do it myself, because I went to college. I'm not an ignoramus like Amanda Mary. And yeah, that is what's going to happen. Target my best friend and her kids, and the same thing will come to them and any other people. And I want to apologise to those that got this blog with the horns in my head. You know, it upset me to think that my friends were being targeted. It upset me to think that Emma's children were targeted. And it upsets me to think that my son had this blog sent to him. And that blog is just filled with defamation. And it's all wrong, by the way. I mean, Amanda, I just want to say this to you. I think Emma and I are really good detectives. Pat myself in the back for that. Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time. She thought she had my address, but she hasn't. You know what she's done, guys? She's led people to a non-developed housing site in Cork City. It's not even built yet. So, no, Rumpelstiltskin got it wrong. That's not where I live, honey. And also all this information about my parents. She's brought my mum into it. My mum is 80. She's my life. Emma knows that. And she's really ill. She just got out of hospital. So she even dragged my really ill mum into this shit. That's how low these quacks will go. But you see, like Emma said, When they don't have science and they don't have facts, just like the anti-vaxxers, they have to go to name-calling, they target your appearance. I mean, this stupid hair, sick of it, I feel like cutting it off, has had more abuse, hasn't it, Emma? Your hair has had abuse as well. Or maybe we don't look pretty enough. Or maybe we're not like little cute Elmo's mom. What's her face? Cooper's mouth. Cooper's voice? Kate, sorry. Maybe I just don't have... eyes. No, I'll take my glasses off. You can see how tired I am. I'll put them on again. Yeah, see, we're not in this. It's not like a beauty contest. You know, we do this because we want kids to be safe. That's our goal. And I don't give a shit about
I think the bottom line is, for all of us, whatever we're doing to try and help, is to improve the future for autistic children. Because we're autistic adults. And it's hard to get support and it's hard to get services and we don't get understood. And if we say anything, it's you're not autistic enough, you're doing it wrong, you're too high functioning, you're this, you're that. I didn't speak till I was 5, you know, but whatever, I'm too high functioning. But actually we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to improve outcomes for the future of autistic people.
And that's really important. To me, that is, for my son, like Dylan is 25. And like, I've talked to him about this, like the negative rhetoric. It's not just about the products, it's about how we're depicted. I've seen anti-vaxxers compare autistic people to chimpanzees and dogs. I've seen us called a plague. Andrew Wakefield has a book called Waging the War on Autism or something like that. There is a book called Plague, actually. I'm not lying. That's another cohort of carrier bearers. It's because I studied autism in college and we talked about this. We talked about like going back historically and how we use words to define like words like retard and all these horrible words that are bad. But they're still coming back. And I suppose, people say it to me, you're fine. Look at you. You can talk. You don't have any challenges in your life. I do. I have lots. And some of them are really hard, you know. Socially, just because you speak doesn't mean you're communicating very well. That's a myth.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and like, you know, some days, like supermarkets, I don't go in them during the day. Emma knows that. I'll be messaging Emma and saying that I've worked it all out now. You get good at avoiding that stress. And like Emma had that, you know, the article about the likes and Tesco's and all that stuff. It's torture. It is. Some of these supermarkets are just hell. Hell on earth.
But isn't it great? You know, I got my diagnosis and suddenly I was like, oh my God, I know who I am now.
Yeah.
And isn't it great to be able to sit there and go, do you know what? This affects me. You know, if I'm going to socialise with lots of people, it's going to affect me. I'm going to have some downtime to help me cope with that. If I know that I can't go into a supermarket, a particular one, with Naomi, it was a particular supermarket she couldn't go into. It was Tesco's, actually. I know I can avoid that. So I can manage better and I am less stressed than autistic children. I'm not completely unstressed. I'm very stressed, but I'm a lot less stressed than autistic children would be because I get to choose. Whereas a lot of what I do is supporting parents to get their child's needs met in schools. So I go into schools with parents and I sit and I chat to them and they talk about things they're doing to help autistic people in their school. And we don't afford our children the same luxuries we have as adults. So things like assembly, for example, that was difficult for my child to sit in a hall in an assembly, to sit still and quiet and listen. Yet to me, that's not a life skill she needs to learn. When she's an adult, she'll choose, you know, if she wants to go and sit in a room full of people, that's her choice. But likewise, she can avoid it. So she didn't do that. I didn't let her do that. Because what's the point? What's the point of putting her through that stress for no apparent reason? And when I hear things from people at school who are trying to help our children, but they're saying things like, your child can have a sensory break when she's done all her maths, was a sentence I heard a couple of days ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I heard that. So obviously, straight away, my response was, under no circumstances ever do you use sensory breaks as a reward. But the reasoning behind it for them is that it's almost like we're going to take your autistic child and we're going to try and make it look as neurotypical as possible. because that's the way for it to fit in. That's to stop it getting bullied. That's to
Well,
give it a better life.
the target of ABA and most Senkos is to make your child indistinguishable from their neurotypical peers.
Exactly, and that is a problem.
That sentence is used a lot.
Yeah, because you're only going to cause them pain. We know about the PTSD you get as an adult for that, but not only that, you're going to cause self-esteem issues, and they're never going to be the same as everyone else. So all you're doing is putting stress on them.
But who wants to be? I mean, this is what I don't get. Why would you want to be the same as everybody else? I mean, if we were all the same, it would be like there'd be no color in the world. It would be like there would be no. It was like robots, doesn't it? And like, I suppose that's why I didn't have many friends growing up, because I didn't actually strive to do that. And it's actually one of the things that attracted my husband to me. Can you believe it? Like, I used to go like to nightclubs or discos, and my sister was like complete opposite of me, you know, all, you know, into the makeup and the hair and broths and all that shit. And I was listening to the Smiths and the Cure in black in the corner with an umbrella. And I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was happy. I was actually happy to be alone. And people were like, oh, come, let's help poor Fiona. We'll bring her out. We'll do her hair, and
we'll make her like us, because then she'll be
we'll make you orange, you know, we'll make you orange and everything's fine. Sorry, the makeup and all that, but but it was my husband that, you know, Tim, you've met earlier, liked that about me. And I used to be listening to like Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan and very, very interesting music, whereas everyone else was dancing to Whitney Houston or whatever. I can't remember at the time. And I felt pressured, I suppose. What I felt was really like a cult trying to make me conform to what is normal, or their idea of normal. But I thought there was something wrong with them. I felt sorry for them. And I used to go home and talk to my mum, who's fantastic, and I'd say, Mum, there's something wrong with these people. They've got terrible taste in music. They all look the same, and they're really dull. I actually used to feel sorry for people. It was like the opposite thing. And I think that was a healthy way to be. And I think Emma is championing that message as well, you know, with her books and things like that.
Absolutely. Emma's books are amazing.
You know,
Vito book in this house. I need another copy because it's getting a bit dog-eared.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah, you've got to give us fresh copies. But Vito, I was telling Emma, I saw him there carrying Emma's book. You know, I don't say anything, but he uses it. And even like meeting, you know, we protested against Scientology yesterday, all my kids, and I was just so proud of Vito. He was just carrying the sign. No one is telling him what to do. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not telling him you've got to do this or be like that. He is finding himself, and I think that we are making, people like you, Emma, as well, are making such a big difference to these kids' lives. I don't think you realise that, but I see that in a very discreet way.
The problem is, every time you have somebody come on, and April's coming up, and I'm dreading it because it's going to be
nightmare.
This is what realistic autism parenting looks like. It's so hard. Newsflash, parenting is supposed to be hard. Parenting is hard, full stop. You're raising tiny humans. You know, you've got a limited amount of time to teach them everything they need to know about everything. It's going to be hard work. Every parent finds it hard at some point. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you sit there and you say, but it's because of the autism.
It's bullshit.
And every time I argue a point with someone about children's needs not being met, and, you know, children are behaving violently, and you sit there and I have yet to come across a problem that an autistic child has. When I have sat and unpicked it, it is because of unmet need or being forced to do something when they're not in a comfortable, calm enough state of mind to do it. And I think every time someone, you know, there are aspects of having a child with needs that are very hard. Like my daughter's going through the statement to EHC process, and it's very stressful for both of us. And that's hard. And it makes my life hard, and it gives me lots of extra work to do. But that's got nothing to do with her being autistic. The problem is not that she's autistic. The problem is people don't recognise her difference and her neurology and allow her to be who she is.
Society is disabling people, really. It's the I suppose where I see it, and I did a paper in college, and I remember walking through the streets of my town, and imagining that if I was a wheelchair user, okay, and how disabled the town is making me, because I can't go anywhere. I can't go into this shop. I can't partake in the community because there's no ramps. I can't even go through the town to get my groceries because it's dangerous. I will tipple over because the paths they're not formed properly. They're dangerous. They've got holes, whatever. So it's really the way. I remember one woman talking to me in college how she doesn't have a disability until she steps out her front door. And that's the way I think it is for me.
That's exactly what it's like. Oh my God, that's exactly what it's like in my house.
So when you're at home and you're in your own home, you can be you.
If me and Naomi never had to leave this house again,
yeah,
unless we wanted to, all the stress would go away.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got to go. I've got a really bad headache.
Oh, honey, go and get some rest.
I think it's
I'll see you in a couple of
overload.
weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it? We need placards.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to make little ones.
You're going to make little ones?
You know what you should do, Emma?
We're coming a long way.
Try and get someone to donate them. If you go into one of those shops, like the signs we had, they might do that. They might just make them up for you. Just say it's for a good cause. And then if you get some really good signs, you can keep them. And you can use them to protest. Why not try? They might say, yeah. You know? Get some AIM ones, like they can be used then again in the future.
I know, that would be nice.
Yeah.
You're good at doing that, Emma. You're good at getting people to help. She's good at that. She's a great saleswoman, Emma, as well. She's good at social stuff. I'm not good at that. I look at the group and I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. It would be hard, I mean, socially, but this is all right. I'm coping all right.
You are.
It's you know what that's like, and I don't mean the breathing thing, the pressure.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's on one side. Why has that happened to me? I mean, does anyone have any answers to that? Because I went to get my medicine and I said to the guy in the pharmacy, why is it just one side and not the other side? And he was like, it's a bit odd, isn't it? I don't know.
You want to be glad it's only one side.
Could be just one.
If it was both sides, you'd be in trouble.
It hurts all around my back and down here.
It will do, yeah. If it was both sides, the pain would be going right down your spine and then going across your back. So be glad it's only one.
On the right side, you see, this is my autistic brain. I'll drive myself crazy. I'll be like Googling, how is it happened to one side and not the other? And I'll be like, but why is it one side? And she'll be like, because we want to seek to get answers to these questions. Curious minds we have, really. And
I'm going to pop off now. All right.
Bye, Emma.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Emma, so much for coming.
Take care.
That's all right. Take care. Bye.
Bye, Emma.
How do I get out? What do I do to stop?
It took me an hour to get in.
No, I have to go because I've got to make lunches. I'll stop the broadcast. Is there anything you want to say, Michael or Emma, before we leave? And I'll just press stop.
On the 28th of shush, Michael, stop. On the 28th of March, I'll be going to Parliament with colleagues of mine because they are launching the fake cures report, which I helped work. They did a survey which went out, got over 600 responses in the UK to see what people thought of fake cures, had they been offered them, if so, where from. So they've done that. They've gleaned the results and they've made a report, a 10-page report. After that, that was to raise awareness. And then the third stage will be to actually go for legislation against fake cures in the UK. I've been working with the Parliament and with Barry Shearman and Craig Kennedy. So, yeah, that's my news. I'll keep you posted.
Plug your protest, Emma, before you leave as well. You've got the protest.
Oh, yeah. Please come along and make your voices heard on the 29th of March, which happens to be my birthday. So bring me for a birthday. All right. That's my birthday. I'm protesting the National Autistic Society on my birthday. That's dedication right there, people. Right? That's advocating my ass off for you.
Hey, maybe they'll make you a birthday cake. A big birthday cake. They're bringing out to you.
Yeah, hey, national cake. Bring it. Whatever you want to bring. I'll be there for you to take.
Oh no, you've got to make her a carrot. That's her favorite cake. Carrot cake.
Yeah. Carrot cake.
A big
from 11. Yeah, the protest is from 11 till 2. Outside the head office of the National Autistic Society. If you put in remembering Mendip on Facebook, or hashtag one of us, because everybody in that building was one of us. All right, that could have been your cousin, your brother, your sister, your nephew, who was in there getting force-fed chilies, getting thrown into swimming pools, getting their money taken from them, getting ropes put around their necks and getting ridden around. These are profoundly autistic people that were very vulnerable. All right, they had no one to speak for them, and the NAS staff, paid NAS staff, were taking their money and spending it on meals out, nights out, and leaving those people with nothing, degrading them, leaving them with no dignity. And what does Mark Cleaver have to say about that? I'm sorry, no harm was caused.
Well, they didn't have an independent investigation, did they? They ignored the complaints.
Will suffer for years with flashbacks of what happened to them in there. Every night. Not only that, can you imagine going to sleep and every night they woke up not knowing what would happen to them the next day. No security, no dignity, no privacy. So yeah, we are protesting Remembering Mendip, all right? We are going to make sure that those people get their voices heard outside the National Autistic Society headquarters on the 28th of March from 11 till 2. So please come along.
29th.
It's a peaceful protest. All right, so don't come angry. There's going to be songs, poems, bring your art, bring your banners, light it up gold. It's all going to be very positive. But we will be shaming them for what they've done.
Well, they should be.
And I will get off my pulpit now and sit down. Michael, you can talk now.
No, Michael.
It's all right. I think the moment is past, really. I was just going to say...
Would you send a message to the quacks? What I'd like to do is just close a message. It's mostly Amanda Mary, who's in the spotlight, because she likes that. What would you like to say to Amanda Mary Jewell before we finish up tonight?
I want to say the whole thing, both the quacks and their customers, it's all fueled by arrogance, isn't it? It's the arrogance that makes them think that they know better than science, they know better than the law. And it's also arrogance that makes them think that their comfort as a parent is more important than their child's welfare. And it discomforts them to have an autistic child, so they bleach them or they subject them to ABA or whatever, because to them the most important thing is that they don't get embarrassed, they don't get inconvenienced or discomforted when they're in the queue for Elmo or whatever it is. That it's the arrogance, putting their own opinions and their own needs before anybody else. They think they know better than the law, they think they know better than the scientists, they know better than the doctors, and they think that they're more important than their children. So that the whole phenomenon is all fueled by arrogance. These aren't vulnerable, uneducated, desperate, poor little people. These are very, very self-important, arrogant people, from top to bottom. The whole phenomenon.
That is a good word, and I actually think it really is the arrogance that kind of thinks that they are above us and that they are better than us. And and
can I add to that?
Stinking quacks is my term now. Do you know why? I really think, like Emma and I, when we started out campaigning in 2013, that we wouldn't be here right now talking about this shit. You know, that we might actually be somewhere nice, like having a life, you know, not being ill, really, which is a big thing for Emma, especially more than me. I mean, I have to have an eye operation, but Emma, you know, it hurts me. It hurts me to see Emma in that predicament. It actually kills me. I love her. You know, she's like my sister. My other sister.
That's why she's on the sister on my Facebook. We may argue.
I've got the best, healthiest relationship with Emma because I can be myself with her, and that to me, and that's a huge compliment for Emma. I wouldn't say that. We do fight, and we have good fight.
We do.
But our sisters, isn't that the best part?
Well, to be honest, I can say anything to Emma, and I feel comfortable, and you know, Emma knows that I'm there for any time, day or night, you know, and I mean that. But what I don't like is people hurting the people I love, and I feel very angry right now with Amanda. I suppose the message I want to send to her is that she's up against a strong group of people here, which we are. And Emma, I've never spoken to you before, Emma Britton. You're a wonderful woman and a wonderful advocate, and everything that you're saying is so important. And I think what your points are making about the future. I'm with you on that. To me, for my eldest son, especially Dylan, Emma's met Dylan, and
I love Dylan.
I'm so afraid, actually. I'm so afraid that I'm not going to live forever. That these
Dylan would be termed as a vulnerable adult.
He would be very, very vulnerable. And that these bastards will get their clutches on him, because we know they're not just going after parents. Just to make it clear, they're going into...
No. They're going after vulnerable adults as well, and they're telling them, you know, we can make you better. All you need to do is give us all your money.
And this house, Menkib or whatever, this place where they torture autistic adults, vulnerable adults, this is happening in Ireland too. There's a place, Cope Foundation in Cork, where I live, and there was a similar case, where a member of staff abused an autistic man, dragged him along the floor, kicking him in the back every day. Like Emma said, every day going in there, terrified, you know, knowing that this was going to happen. They took him to court. It went to court, the family, and they spoke to me afterwards. He got off. Do you know what happened to him? He lost his job. That's all. Nothing happened. There was no criminal.
The people at Mendip, it was actually closed down in 2014, and it wasn't brought to light till 2016. The NAS tried to cover it up, so it wasn't until a whistleblower came. Hello, hello, Chloe.
Amanda, no, this is for Amanda Mary, just to make the joke. She called her a rat. Yes, she looks a bit like a rat.
Oh.
This is my chihuahua, Chloe, and she's glued to me. So what do you want to say to Amanda Mary? I'll bite your face off. Yeah. Well,
hi again.
Hi. Not you, Amanda. Amanda Mary. Call my dog a rat.
No, you're fine.
I just want to add to what Michael was saying.
Is that a cat?
I don't want. Yes, it's sweet. She's trying to do my ear. I don't want to bother saying anything to Amanda Mary, because I don't believe anything I say is going to change her mindset. No. And air is precious. But what you were saying about, you know, it's not good enough to say we're desperate parents. It's not good enough for these parents to say my child's autistic and I'm desperate, because I know many. I have personal friends who are parents of autistic children of all levels of functioning. And they are amazing, and they embrace them and love them for who they are, and they do not torture them or hate them, this perceived foreign object that is autism, because it's not. So, you know, you can't sit there and say, I'm desperate because my child is autistic.
That's a very good point. It is perceived. And this is why I'm so hard on people with their language. That's why we don't say with autism. You can have... You can have cancer, you can have a cold, you cannot have autism. You are autistic. It externalizes it and makes it sound as if it can be removed.
And we need to change the language. I went to a mental health nurse appointment before Christmas, and I was very distressed when I arrived. It wasn't what I was expecting. So I went out. She told me off for interrupting her. So I went out and phoned a friend. And she said to me, is she aware you're autistic? Because as we know, sometimes us autistic people, if we've got to say something, we've got to say it. And it all needs to come out. And I was very distressed also. So, you know, that was why I interrupted her. So I went back into the room and I said to her, are you aware that I'm autistic? And she said to me, well, I don't know why you keep going on about it. You can't tell. And I was like it's a negative thing, and that's the point. It's part of who I am. It's every part of who I am, actually. And this woman's telling me I should shut up about it because I don't look autistic.
You know, that happened to me when I went to my dermatologist's office and asked them how an autistic person's supposed to look.
Can I just tell you my response to that was, thank you very much. It's taken many years of abuse for me to look this non-autistic. And I think that's the point. The point is, if you're hiding who you are all the time and doing things to make other people happy or so you don't get hit or abused or whatever, there's always going to be a consequence at some point for that person. And these parents who think that you can try and mould your kids into something they are not, you are harming them. Even if you don't need to, you are. And I just hope that they don't grow up one day and say, do you know what, I can't have anything more to do with you because you were trying to fix me and I wasn't broken, but now I think I am because of you. I think that's all I want to say.
I think that was a very good parting line. I am going now.
I need to go too, guys.
I've been saying I'm going for ages.
I gotta go. I gotta make the lunches.
I'm switching you off.
No, guys, you're great. I love you. And this has been, we're gonna do this again. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can ever get on.
There's no, you see, there's no stopping us now. We could do this once a week if we really wanted to.
As long as it's not Tuesday, I can join you.
Okay, cool, Amanda. Yeah, we can work out a day. I mean, what I think is good is that we're here to target the pseudoscience and the quacks. And, you know, you guys, you have your radio shows. We can do it too. And look, how many people we've had. More than Maguire.
Yeah.
Done, guys. You're great. And we're going to keep fighting. Okay, love you guys. And we will be back.
See you later.
We will be back. Bye, guys.
Quackbusters.
Quackbusters.
Yeah.
Bye, Michael. Bye, guys.
Bye. Get out of here.
I'm going to end it now. So good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.